Welcome back to podcast episode number 16. My name is Cassandra Mosley. Thank you so much for joining me. This topic is very, very, very close to my heart. It's something that I am going through and I'm still going through from past experiences. And I was so excited because I prayed about this topic and I was like, I'm going to have so much fun with this one. So our topic, very interesting topic, when the door has been shut before you. I am so excited. So just some background information about this topic. There are some things in life that I experienced where I felt like every opportunity that I ever dreamed of having, I missed out on some way, shape, or form. Some I wasn't ready for, some I turned down, some I knew just wasn't the right time for me, or I had other responsibilities that I couldn't, make room for. And then there's other situations that, came along, such as time and travel and the availability and, things in life that happen. And I used to be so sad and down that I missed so many important opportunities. At that time, I didn't know that it wasn't meant to be. I didn't find out until years later that opportunity wouldn't have worked out for me. And even though some of these experiences are still, they still some residual hurt and pain and scars and experiences, some of these experiences, a lot of them have been what was best for me. I just didn't know it at the time. So here we go. Number 1. When the door has been shut before you, you may not know, and it may take a long time for you to see it was for your own good. I know that that's hard to hear. It's not always pleasant. It's not always fun or enjoyable. But it was for your own good. There are too many experiences that I've had in life where doors had been shut and there's an opportunity that I could not afford to miss out on. I was going to do everything I could to fight for it, and things did not work out. Later on, I had someone come share some information with me about that same opportunity, and they said it wasn't what we thought it was. I was so glad that it did not work out. Once I heard what they went through, and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm glad it didn't work out. And they ended up leaving the same opportunity as well. But I was grateful that it did not work out. When things happen in life, it may seem like you win some and you lose some, and that is a part of life. We don't always win. But I do promise that it seems like every time I've had to go through this, what came later on down the line, I had so much more joy and passion in than what I thought I was missing out on. Number 2, when the door has been slammed before you, it was time for you to let go and move on. Sometimes when you really desire something, you don't want to let go, you don't want to miss out. You have prayed for this. This is the moment that you've been waiting for. And it seems like the more that you pursue this, the more that everything falls apart. And then you finally have to accept this did not work out and this is just a disaster. Sometimes in life, you're not ready to let go and move on. And things happen where it's time for you to let go and move on. And sometimes it's painful, sometimes it's not easy, sometimes you only have time. You need time just to heal and move on. Sometimes it's a good experience, sometimes it's not a good experience. But you have to learn to let go and move on, and it's not easy. And I'll give you just like a quick example of this. One example that I have is my first car as an adult, in my name that I was approved for and I financed, it was the most exciting thing in the world. and I had a car accident, and I unfortunately totaled my car. And when I had to receive the news that it was totaled, it wasn't the fact that I lost my only form of transportation. It was the fact that I worked so hard. I had my own money for this vehicle. It was a fact that this was my first vehicle as an adult, a young adult. And my vehicle being totaled was, it hurt so much because I'd never been in a car accident as an adult, my own vehicle. But also my vehicle being totaled, I didn't realize how much it meant to me until I had to let go and move on from it. And it felt like I was starting back at scratch, just nothing. I think why I had such a challenging time letting go and moving on is how many doors I could access having my own vehicle, and how nice it was being independent, and this is mine, I worked hard for it. But also knowing that it was only a matter of time before my vehicle was no longer running anyways. I put repairs into it, it was still giving me issues, and I knew that I was on borrowed time anyways. I just had that small glimpse of hope that this was going to last forever, and that's not realistic of certain car brands and makes and models. Number 3, better is on the way and you won't miss anything. This one was definitely one that I had to struggle with for a long time. Sorry for the background noise, but this is one that I struggled with for a long time. When important things that happened in my life I had to walk away from, I apologize. There's important things that I had to walk away from that I absolutely desired and needed and wanted. And unfortunately, I had to walk away from it. It just wasn't the right time. I was too busy. Nothing was working out. Everything was it just wasn't meant to be. And you kind of know that gut feeling in your heart and your mind. You just have that intuitive feeling when it's not working out. You just know. And so when I finally accepted that this just was not working out as much as I desired this, better did come. And when I looked back on that moment of being sad and down and really hoping that this would work out, I didn't miss what I left for what I got to enjoy coming next. What I got to enjoy coming next was so much more rewarding and fulfilling. And a lot of times you don't see it when you're first going through something, but as time goes on, you start to see it later. I really do believe that good things do come when we wait patiently for it. Sometimes we just don't know. And sometimes it could be a really long time before you actually see the difference from what you had to what you have now. But I just want you to be encouraged that what may seem like so great now and you've had to let go, that there's always something better on the horizon. Number 4, when doors have been slammed before you, or shut before you, I said slam, sorry, I meant shut before you, all of your hard work will eventually one day pay off. I am going through this, and there are a number of areas in my life that I have tried everything possible. I even asked professionals to help me and share insight and wisdom, and this thing, when I tell you that I cannot get this thing to move for anything, all this hard work is one day going to pay off. Whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish and achieve, or you're working on or working towards, no matter how many doors are shut, one day you will have that right door that's going to open up so many opportunities, but you better be ready. I have learned some of the things that I have desired the most in life. When I waited patiently for it, it was so much more rewarding for me than just having it when I want it because I want it now. I didn't believe that. And then when I finally accomplished that goal that seemed impossible, I was in such shock that I accomplished it. We did it because it was a team effort. We did it together. But I felt so much better that I worked so hard and I waited patiently to achieve that goal. I didn't rush it. Even if the door has been shut before you, there are dozens of more doors that are going to come along the way. And eventually you're going to find that right door that you need. I use this analogy, it's one of my favorites because it helps me through a lot of things I'm going through. If you have 10,000 doors, and one of these doors is your special door, like let's say you're launching a business, and one of these doors is that special door you have been waiting for to get this business going and moving, and you've been working so hard, and it seemed like everything worked out but except your business. If you have one key and you go to every single door and you get to that 10,000th door and none of the doors unlock, you miss the right door. So what do? You go all the way back to door number 1 and you retry, this time going slower, being more patient, being more diligent. You go back to door number 1 and try every door again until you find which door matches that key. That can take years, it can take months, it can take weeks, it can be a variety. As long as you don't give up and you persevere, that's all that matters. All that hard work, all the sacrificing eventually will pay off once you get to that door. It's just going to take time for you to get there. Again, all that hard work and dedication will pay off, I promise. I promise this because I am conducting a number of things. I can't go into details. It's a different topic, but there are a number of things that I have been doing in my own personal life where every single thing that I did resulted in nothing but failure. When I say failure, I'm not saying that I am a failure. I'm not saying it's a failure. I'm saying that the goal that I was trying to achieve and accomplish, or the task or what I was working towards, I was completely unsuccessful, and it is still just where it is. I have not been able to really get that project to move 1 inch past where I've been stuck at. I made progress in other areas, but not the progress in the area that I needed to make, if that makes sense. Well, I felt like, okay, I'm going to call it, and I'm going to just let this go and retire this for a little bit and move on to a project that I can make progress on, and then come back and try again. I call it my little breaks. Well, I happened to be working on that project just last night. Early this morning, I was working on that project, and I saw something that I didn't see before. My colleague sent me an email saying, hey, check this out. I think that we should do this. And that exact thing that I was looking for, I couldn't find. My colleague found exactly what I needed. It was a price that I needed, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I needed. It opened up, it completely turned that project from going completely nowhere, So going from like a 0, no progress at all, nothing is moving, to at least a 5. Okay, I now know our next move. This is what we're gonna do next. This is how much it's gonna cost. Now I'm planning things out, getting ready to route us into like actually moving forward. And I can't tell you how much it meant for my colleague to send me that email. My colleague has been absolutely, I am so grateful for my colleague looking out for me. Now, the part of the hard work will pay off about this situation, this project that I'm working on, is because I had my documents and my things ready to go. All I have to do is do a few things, sign up for a few things, adjust a few settings, and a few things I have to do, a few things I have to, add in software I have to download, things like that. But because I was already had my things ready to go, all I have to do is upload it and then finalize it and then wait for it to be mailed. That, I'm so sorry for the background noise. I cannot control, unfortunately, I live near a main road. I cannot control the noise. But because I was already working on this project and I refused to give up and I refused to just let myself be defeated, everything that I would have needed to finalize that project, I would have had to do anyways. But because I had already had everything ready to go, all I have to do is upload and finalize it and agree and sign everything and submit and do everything else I need to do. That sped up that entire project. Had I not had the other things and material ready that I needed to put into the portfolio, I would have not been able to move that project to the next level, and now we're waiting on a few more things and that project is ready to go. I am so excited. It's unbelievable. So excited that this project is now going to the next level after so long of this project going nowhere. I mean, absolutely nowhere. I was so down that I could not get this thing to move, and finally that door came unexpectedly, randomly at night, late at night, that door came. Your hard work will pay off. It doesn't matter if you're not accomplishing what you want to accomplish, or it's not exactly the way that you envision it, and it's not where you want it to be at a certain time. As long as you keep every day making effort and putting energy into it, eventually you're going to find that door that you need, or that opportunity, or that connection. And then number 5, the end of this podcast, because I'm having so much fun, leaving off on something positive. When a door has been shut before you, let that be your motivation to keep working hard. Don't let it deter you. Don't let it delay you. Don't let it stop you. Let that be more motivation to keep going. It can seem so daunting to go through all these doors and every single one is locked and you literally tried everything. And then you just happen to get up and try again and try a random door with a random number and the door unlocks and you're in disbelief. Sometimes in life, you have to keep going and pursuing, even if things are not happening for you when you desire it to happen. But know that when you finally get there, you're going to enjoy it so much more because you had to really go through to accomplish that goal. So I hope that you took something away from this podcast. I hope that this is more motivation, more of a push for you to keep going, to keep being patient, to keep trying. I hope that this also, if there's something that you are working towards that is not succeeding or thriving or whatever it is that you're going through in life, I hope that you get back up and that you keep fighting and trying and not giving up. It can be really hard when you're trying so hard and nothing is going anywhere. And all you can do is just watch everything fall apart and yet to get back up and it's all falling apart and nothing's improving, nothing seems to be turning into anything, and yet to have to keep going, it can really sometimes get to you. But if you stop now, you'll never know what's on the other side of that door.